Greetings everyone, and today I would like to continue my talk on the habits of old Mongolians, or this random talk about the family, divorce, and women's rights, etc. etc. So before I continue, you can notice that I have a Christmas tree and Christmas Santa. What do I think about the Christmas? On the internet, I see a lot of videos saying that people are wasting a lot of money during Christmas, and they are forgetting about the birth of Jesus Christ, and this celebration should be about the birth of Jesus, not this giving your child this present, etc. etc. But I guess people like that these three magicians, or these three wise old men came to this baby Jesus and gave him presents, and somehow this thing, old man with the beard is bringing this present to your this poor home. People seem to like it, and I really like this idea of this Santa. And my daughter and my wife and we had a small argument about this hanging this Santa, and the Santa with this chariot on the walls. My wife said I will not allow you this hang this these Santas on the walls. We already have a lot of stuff on our walls, and I don't like this idea that you are trying to decorate this household with the garbage, something like that. My daughter was listening this, and she said, well, there is a solution. Father needs to remove his shield, remove his picture, and remove his a flag from the wall, and let us put this Santa. So this made us this made us laugh, and we decided okay, we shall put this Santa on the wall. So let us continue about this Genghis Khan's idea on that women have a right to have own property, and women have right to divorce. This idea, protecting this woman's right, is going to be something that can exist in some stable world. I mean, before Genghis Khan, there was no order and law. There was small fractions, and these small tribes and small states are constantly at war, and no one cares about this women rights, and if a woman have own property and own these servants, and she is like living in some countryside, and she is not protected, and she can be victim, and some other tribes can come and take her and take her properties, etc. etc. This law that allows women to have own property, own livestock, became possible because a great Khan managed to conquer everyone, and created a great peace in the steppe. So when you have this great peace in the steppe, people usually focus on daily life, and this some may focus on the idea of God, and some are focused on the social life, and some want to have more wives, etc. etc. So Chinese sources are telling that before Genghis Khan, Mongols were quite savage and barbaric, and they were like evil. But now they are like very polite with each other. There is no such thing as livestock thief, and they are like constantly celebrating something. They are constantly drinking alcoholic drinks and dancing. And there is no much difference in the clothing of a man and woman, and but there is, a wife dress. The wives are, wearing a high hat with a this arm, high, very high hat, and on the top of this hat there is a four-angle pot-like structure. On this structure they have put a lot of jewelries and feathers. And rich people have, many wives. Some have 4 wives, some even have 10 wives, and I don't see if these wives are like having some kind of a quarrel. They are like they are quite obedient about their husband, something like that. So Great Khan gave a great peace, and Mongols are like wearing the best clothing, and there's a great peace, and somehow this society is like it feels like it's quite civilized. So this idea that having a lot of wives, I don't know about this 13th century law, but I have this 17th or 18th century law. This is going to be Mongolian law. When Mongolians was formed, they had to create own law, and in this law, if you want to have second wife, the state, the country will take something from you, and usually in law number 78, the state will take 10 camel and 100 horses. If you want to have another wife, you need to pay 10 camels and 100 horses to the state. I like it, law 77. The law 77 is saying that if a man takes someone's daughter and keeping her, and she is like she's like with him, this man needs to if the of course the parents are not agree. The parents want to have their daughter back, and if he wants to keep this daughter, he needs to pay money. He needs to pay 8 horses, 7 cows, and 40 goats. So we generally like to say that we don't sell our daughters, and we like we are not like this like others, like they give money and take your daughter and something like that. But in the case of if you take someone's daughter and the father is complaining, you need to pay some amount of livestock. And if this man is a poor man and he has no livestock, his lord must give the payment. Why this happening? If this man has no livestock, he must join the woman's side. Even in this, this 18th century, there is these lords, and lords have own population. And if some other lord having this other lord's man is like taking your one of your servant women, and of course you want to take this man, be my servant, but the other lord don't want to give his manpower. So this man's lord must pay these 8 horses and 7 cows and 40 goats. Of course, if the person is poor, this man is going to be the servant of this lord of this woman, something like that. And every livestock must be shutling. It's some kind of this age. The reason why I like this law, it is because why you need some law like this. It is because it is obvious that there was many such cases when poor man wanted to marry this woman without any bride and wife contract. And law protects this half Mongolian law protects bride or marriage contract. This society, this old society, have three layers and three classes. It's going to be upper class, or this ruling class, or these lords, and there is a middle class or rich people, and rich people mix it with a noble man and woman and something like that. And in the bottom there is of course this worker, servant, and someone is called hart, meaning a dark class. So in the case of this very poor and black class, you can when you are trying to have this wedding contract, you need to bring a witness from this man's side, witness from the woman's side, and usually men's side should bring an alcohol and inner organs of a sheep. Everything must be complete. All the inner organs must be existing there, and these witnesses must see that the father of the woman was agree. And it seems sheep is used to create a wedding contract in the case for poor people. And currently here in Mongolia, in order to ask one's daughter, we generally use a silver cup, a khatak, and of course the silver cup must be filled by milk, something like that. That's all. And this comes from this old age, and in the case of a middle class or rich and people who mix it with this nobleman, they need to man must need to bring a silver cup, one pearl, and alcohol. If this woman's house takes these three stuff, it means this marriage engagement or this bond is complete. And in the case of you are like a middle class and you want to marry a lord's daughter. In the case of a lord's daughter, you need to bring one silver cup full of alcohol, one pearl without a hole, meaning a perfect pearl, and one white horse with a sable tassel, or a horse with a full decoration, and one white camel with a silver peg one camel with this full decoration, and his the thing in the nose or peg should be silver, something like that. So you can marry a noble woman or the lord's daughter. Of course, these things, the marriage and etc. sometimes don't last long. A man can fall from the horse and die, and woman need to have another husband, or if there is there's some kind of conflict, men are constantly dying, and this there must be these social laws and ideas on divorce and remarriage. So very simple thing that if you want to dump your wife, you need to leave all your properties and only take your whip. It means you take your whip and your horse, that's all, and you need to leave your properties, all you have. So a state will announce that you two are divorced. By doing this job, the state will take the half of your properties. I mean, nowadays if you divorce, you pay some money to the lawyers, and half is taken by the wife and half is taken by the husband, and that's all. But in old times, state has interest on this property. State will have the half. A man has no right to keep something if the man wants to dump on his wife. So there's a lot of strange laws and etc. etc. And since we believe in this number 99, let us read the 99th law. The 99th law says about deceased man. If a lord wants to take a wife of a deceased man, dead man, it is quite possible that lord have killed the man and trying to take this man. Well, this is very simple law, and if this woman have a children, or mainly sons, she must divide her this ex-husband's property to her sons, and the lord can have her, something like this. Well, that's pretty much for today, and thanks for watching.